So it's one thing to understand what's going on with someone, why they might have some difficulty. It's always very, very interesting. We always want to know why. The thing is, what do we do to change it? Right? So there's basically 3 styles of recommendations we can have. Physical, emotional, and spiritual. Ultimately, spiritual seems like a vast topic. I'm going to make it very simple. It means that we would be able to use intuition in our lives instead of intellect. We can use intellect instead of intellect using us, which is often the case. Right? So when we can tap into the intuitive world where all knowledge is, this, you could say, is a spiritual recommendation. Anything that helps us to do that. So people go on retreats or whatever it might be. Right? And a lot of times, the physical and emotional recommendations are actually what helps us to tap into the intuition. If the body's in physical pain, right, you're sitting there and your legs aren't comfortable or whatever it might be, how can you access intuition and big wisdom? Or if there's a pain in your shoulder or something, right? So we need to really get past the physical and then emotional distractions in order to tap into intuition. So that's why we have this class here where we're aligning our body in a physical place where heaven's force and earth's force can maximize their circulation through the body. Right? If the body's misaligned in some way, then it's harder. You can maybe do it, but it's harder to get those natural forces of nature to move efficiently through the body. So that's why we study alignment. So exercise and breath, exercise with breath, helps us to keep the physical body in a tuned position to achieve better energy flow. Okay? So where I want to spend a little bit of time tonight is in the emotional. So people tend to say or categorize emotions actually as intellectual concepts. So people tend to say, well, how do you feel? And they might say, well, I feel sad, or I feel happy, or I feel angry, or I feel rejected. Whatever it might be, those are actually intellectual concepts. I'm suggesting that feelings, emotions, are literally feelings. They're actually physical sensations in the body. And so when we start feeling what's going on in our body, when there's stress, then stress actually becomes optional. Stress is only something we make up as a story based on the past something happened that's similar right now, that is similar to something that happened in the past. So we go to the past. This is problems. Problems come from associations with the past, from parenting, either as a parent or by a parent.
I'm sorry, I don't understand the meaning parenting.
Parenting?
Yes.
So you had parents?
Yes.
Did you ever have stress with parents?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay? So people say, oh, my situation's so complicated. It's not complicated. Any kind of problem, any kind of stress comes from something that happened in the past that we're relating to. It relates to parenting, and peers or partners. These are the P's. Okay? Any problem you have comes from this. Right? It's not so complicated. And then that past is projected, that's another P, into the future. So something happened today, and if it's like it was in the past, oh no, what's going to happen to me tomorrow? But right now, everything's fine. If you right now, you just say you're in a room, everything's fine. Okay? The only problem comes is when we go, oh no, I had something in the past. It's just like this, or just like this, peers, partners, parents, and it could happen tomorrow. Okay? So I want to give us a little bit of time to look at how to stay in the present, to get away from problems. Because when we turn all these and be in present moment, and we can be more in feeling rather than concepts and stories, then we change our stress into growth, into change. We actually need stress. We actually attract it because resolving it makes huge growth for us. So any problem you have in your life, you go, thank you, this is my gift, this is my present. Okay? I asked for it on some subconscious level so that resolving it would make big energy. We only get a small amount of energy when we're happy. It's nice. And usually we're happy because we grew in some way. So it's an effect of growth. We're not here to be happy. We're not here to be sad. We're here to grow. I invite you to do whatever you want with that. The soul is here to grow, change, evolve. And in that process, we feel happy when we're growing. When we're not growing, when we're stuck in a pattern, another P, right? It's another P, a problem, a pattern, then we feel sad, upset, whatever it might be, whatever word you want to put on it. But my point is, one of the ways to get out of this pattern is to focus on physical sensations when there's stress. So I do this a lot in my practice. Some of you have been around sessions with me. And this is what I find myself doing after giving exercises and nutritional advice. It's like the final frontier is that ability to be in the present moment and actually feel what's going on when there's stress. Okay, so we're going to just do that for a moment. All right, I want you to scan your body just like you were sitting before. You can be in any position and just feel physical sensations in your body. When a thought comes, just take a look, scan your head, your neck, your back, your arms, your legs, your torso, and just notice physical sensations. Okay? And then I'm going to make a noise, and I want you to notice where that noise shows up in your body. So close your eyes, and you're just waiting quietly. Notice where you're going to feel something in a moment. Notice where it is. This could be somebody yelling at you, okay? This could be a stressful situation. Notice where it is. Where did you feel it, Adam?
Right here.
Okay, where did you feel it?
In my ear.
Okay, where did you feel it? Okay, where did you feel it? All right? So nobody ever feels the same. Everybody wants love, everybody wants happiness, everybody wants to grow. We're all the same in that way. nobody feels the same as you. So if anybody ever says to you, "Oh, I know exactly how you feel," they don't. This is individual. So when stress comes in, first thing you say is, where is it? Now this was a physical sensation, it was a sound. I'm suggesting that when somebody says something to you, and that also includes yourself, when you say something to yourself that causes stress, it shows up somewhere in your body. When you say, "I'm such an idiot," when you say, "I'm such a," whatever it is, notice where it is in your body. Second is breathe into it. So where is it? Breathe into your whole body, especially that location. Okay. Where is it? Close your eyes. Now you know there's no danger. If there was danger, you would run away, for sure, okay? So you know, where is it? You breathe into it. And then you can ask, as long as there's no danger, if this involves another person, or yourself, or your own inner judgment, where am I choosing to go in my life? With this person, or myself? With my inner judgmental thoughts. This will calm your spirit. Calm your emotions instead of defending yourself. If it's with another person, right? Why did you do this? You did this wrong. What's wrong with you? So you go, "No, I didn't. It wasn't me." You now have a battle. You're now making war because of defense. So instead of that, you go, "Okay, this person just called me names. They did whatever they did. Where do I feel that?" Breathe into it before you answer. Where am I choosing to go with this person, with this thought, ultimately? Because it's a thought, and that could come from ourselves as well as from outside. Right? And do this before you respond. Okay? Now there's a whole language part which I teach on how to take it from here, how to actually speak to this person. And the first stage is just going in here to get to a sense of peace and empowerment within yourself before we answer. Okay? Now, if someone or yourself comes up with a stressful thought, anybody want to offer what might be a stressful thought that someone said to you or you heard or goes on in your head sometimes? What would be a stressful judgment?
I don't want to do that. Whatever that is.
Okay, whatever that is. So let's make it up. I don't want to, what? Somebody says you to do something that you don't want to do. Let's go get drunk and stoned tonight. Okay?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
Let's get drunk and stoned.
And before I should
I don't want to do that. So you can say, "No, I don't want to do that." "No, come on. Let's get high. Let's get drunk. And let's get really stoned tonight. Come on." And you're feeling stress from that. So first thing you would do is go, "Okay, where is it?" Breathe into it. Where do I want to go in this relationship with this person? Okay? And then this person says to you, "Well, what's wrong with you? You're just like a," what would they call you if you didn't want to do it? You're chicken.
Yeah.
You're like, "What are you afraid of? Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Oh, you're just afraid." Right? So, okay. Then, now you're being judged by yourself, actually, because if you're not afraid, it won't bother you. So anytime we have stress from someone accusing us of something, it's because we believe it a little bit. If If somebody says, you are a prostitute, I saw you yesterday on the street getting money for sex. If that's true, it might get to you. But if it's not true, you go, this person, it doesn't bother you at all. So the only time that we get bothered when someone judges us is because a little part of us might believe it. Someone says, oh, you're cheap. Whatever it might be, whatever the judgment is, you go, maybe you look awful today. Maybe I do look awful. Right? So, this next process that comes from Katie Byron is it true what is being said, either to myself, by myself, or what someone's saying to me? Question 1, is it true? So, am I a hooker? Now, even if there's a little bit of truth, did you ever do a favor for somebody? Or maybe you did a favor for somebody. Maybe your husband, partner, and you felt that it was a little bit, I really shouldn't have done that, but I wanted to. Right? So there might be a little bit in there. So you go, is it true? Well, maybe a little bit. Somebody calls you an idiot. Are you an idiot? You go, sometimes. Sometimes I do idiotic things. Okay? Second, is it absolutely true all the time? Okay? That's like saying everybody's here has lied, right? Everybody in this room has told a lie. Does that make you a liar? Okay. You've lied. Maybe for some good reason you lied. Maybe you saved a child when you lied. I don't know. Okay? There may be a good, or maybe you protected somebody or yourself. Okay? So there may be a good reason for lying. It doesn't make you a liar. Okay? So the second one, is this true, what I'm telling myself all the time? Am I just that? Can I be labeled a liar, a hooker, a stealer, an idiot, whatever it might be? Yeah? If I believe that thought, how do I feel about myself? How do I feel about my life? If I believe that it is true, does it help me to believe that thought? 4 is, if I don't believe it, no, it's not true, it's false. Sometimes yes. But if I choose to not believe the judgment, how do I feel about myself? Okay? This may help us to just ground the judgment instead of beating ourselves up over it. And the whole time we do this, we feel the body. Okay, where is this? How do I feel if it's not true? I feel that here. I feel that in my abdomen. I feel it in my chest. And I feel better. Okay, so we actually put these negative limiting pattern thoughts, stories, into a place in the body that we can resolve. Where do you feel that? Okay? This becomes eventually a habit. Breathe into it. There's no danger. So we start to use it for energy. And if we still keep going into a story, we can go, well, is it true? Is there a danger? Is just a motorcycle on fire? Is there a danger? No, it's not true. If I believe that there's a problem, well, no, there's no problem. I'd rather not believe it. So we go through this process. We feel all of that. Okay. A friend of mine, client, has a clinically life-threatening disease, a according to medical science, he is told that he has at the most 5 years to live. This is what he's been told. And there's been many people diagnosed with this disease who have it. And the max, according to the medical environment, is that anybody's lived is 5 years. So that's what they've told him. He's doing everything to change this situation. Okay? So, he sometimes gets the thought, I'm going to die. Right? Big question, right? I've been told by a medical community, I'm going to die. Is it true? Are you absolutely sure it's true? This is an inner choice, an inner reflection, and where you feel that. How do I feel if it is true? How do I feel if it's not? So we start to make a choice. Right? And then, now, there's one other part that's important. When we're hearing a judgmental thought, what's in it for me if I believe it, that it is true? If we want to believe it, we choose to believe it, we're actually getting something out of it. So if I tell myself, this job's no good, but I can't get anything else. This is the only job I can get. What's in it for me to believe that? What would I actually get out of it for believing that?
If I'm going not to change the situation.
I don't have to change. Right? I don't have to change. If I really believe that this job is terrible and there's nothing I can do and this is the only job I can get, because it's the only job I'm qualified, nobody's going to hire me, nobody else wants me, I don't have to change.
23 years ago I was told.
You were like that?
I will be disabled, I am disabled.
Uh-huh.
Doctors told me. And I had 5 years old son, old mother. And I told myself, I'm not going to be disabled. I can't. I didn't believe it.
Right. So you went to this stage.
Immediately. When I went out from the doctors, somebody came to me and said, look, I found somebody for you. Maybe he could help you.
Yeah.
It was the doctor.
Good.
And I just take the chance. And you know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So here you are now. Yeah. Okay. So we have, at a certain point, we have a choice. It's really important to notice why we don't change. And that's pretty much the reason, because we're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of change. Unknown is maybe the scariest fear. Right? So there's always some benefit to not changing, to believing a stressful thought, that we actually get something out of it. A lot of people like to stay where they are because they get attention. They get attention for it. Oh, I have this pain, and my wife comes and helps me, my grandparents and children come to see me because they feel sorry for me, and they like that. If I was better, maybe they wouldn't visit me every weekend. So there's always some benefit to staying the same. And that's very important that we look at that. That anytime we know we want to change. So for my friend, it's very, very important that he looks at what he is choosing to do. And so here's where we can go into affirmation. So if we decide, I'm okay with changing, I'm okay, I feel good about changing, I'm open to it, right? Then we can say, instead of, nobody will hire me, nobody wants me, okay? What could we say? What could we say? We turn it into the opposite. I choose, what? In this case, about a job. I choose what?
Just to be one.
I choose to find a job that's better for me, right? Okay.
To be needed.
Yeah. That other people will appreciate my skills. Okay, something like that, in positive language. So affirmations get to be in positive outcome language. I choose to be useful. Useful. I know you're translating into your languages. I choose to be useful in a job that I absolutely love. Okay? So this is where you get to make up your own situations, right? And one that I like is, in every breath I take, like the old, the Sting song, right? In every breath I take, in every step I make, I'm getting closer to my ideal career, my ideal job, my ideal health, my ideal, whatever it may be that you're looking for. So you, instead of saying, I want to find a job, right, because that, you may just keep wanting it, right? Or I need a better job. Instead of that, you go, I choose to change. I choose, with my friend, I choose life. Okay? And with every exercise I do, with every food I eat, with every thought, I cancel, clear, delete those negative thoughts, and I instead choose health. Okay? So this is the work of emotional changing. And emotions are the only energy that live within us. Nobody gives us fear. You can't just say, here, have some fear. Nobody gives you anger on a plate. And you say, oh, I'd like some of that. Okay? No one can give it to you. It's just reflected in others what exists in ourselves. So emotions are the only source of energy, different than food. Someone serves us food, or we make food. Oxygen comes from outside of us, for air, for our breath. Emotions live inside. So this is how we use them. We go inside to get them. Not in the brain. The brain is thoughts. The brain is a filter. We get to go in the body to feel them and empower them. And so once we say this positive outcome phrase, I choose to be useful in a job that I love, whatever it might be, we also go into the body. Where do I feel that? Okay? We empower ourselves with the feeling in the body. The brain follows the body, not the other way around. I know I say this a lot. You put your hand on a hot stove, your brain is not going, I think you better move your hand off the hot stove. Your body knows immediately to take it off. And the brain helps us to take our hand away. We need the nervous system to move the hand. But the first stimulus is always from the body. The sensory stimulus from the pores of the body, let's say.
The parents say to the small child, don't touch.
Right. Right. So again, positive outcome language. Don't touch the stove. And then we hear, touch the stove. This is what kids do. Kids, the smaller they are, They go, right? They'll do this all the time. So stay away. Okay? Stay clear of this part of the, right? That's more positive outcome. Or stay where you are.
And if you say just no, is it?
Well, no, everybody relates to no.
Yeah, no,
It's very primal.
Actually.
No, if you say no first,
If you say only no,
yeah,
nothing else.
they'll hear that for sure. For sure. But if you say don't touch the stove,
No.
no. Yeah.
No.
Or how about this? Will you be quiet? What? No, I won't be quiet. Right? So, will you please be quiet? Can you shh, please? So positive outcome, language, with feeling behind it, with a feeling that supports it. It's big here in Czech, you know. Ticho, right? It's very big. I hear this all the time. Ticho. People are screaming, he's quiet, right? Shut up in English. So this is a little bit of that world, and where we actually get to filter what our thoughts are. So this is really, really important. We can use the brain, instead of the brain using us, to filter what we're telling our body. So when we catch ourselves going, I'm such a, wait a minute, stop, cancel clear. Or do you ever use curse words? Right? Oh, right? Oh, that frickin' this or that, right? Cancel clear, delete, go back in the body. Where do you feel that? What do I turn this into? So we start filtering the messages that we're sending to our body, and eventually they become the automatic patterns instead of the dysfunctional, instead of the ones that keep us back in the past. We create a new present moment, which eventually turns into future.
Scan your body for physical sensations. Where do you feel these sensations? Where in the body do you feel the stress that, when resolved, turns into a greater peace within than we have ever felt? Also, where am I choosing to go in my life with this person and/or myself? What valuable challenge is this person reflecting for me? Adversity is the mother of growth and soulful evolution. What valuable lesson is emerging? Peace, passion, patience, prosperity, purpose. Breathe into the body. Merge consciousness with bodily sensations. Where? Feel it. Merge consciousness with bodily sensations. How do they feel? Vibrations? What kind of sensations? Tingling, warm, cool. Let your breath be like the wind. Let your breath be like the wind, blowing away thoughts as if they were clouds. Blowing away thoughts as if they were clouds. Leaving clear, empty space within the borders of your body. Clear, empty space within the borders of your body. This stillness, silence, is like a vacuum, attracting intuitive wisdom. Listen. What is the benefit of this emotional resolution? A greater peace within than we have ever felt. Breathe. Powerful. Purposeful. Prosperity. Be your body, beautiful. One with mind, soul, infinite spirit.